What up?
What is up? What is up? Paul, we're back. Rockets are back, which means the Red Glare podcast is back. I'm your host, Alec Miller. You can find me on Twitter at Alec Miller0423. And I'm joined, as always, by my main man, Paul. What is up, man?
What's happening, y'all? Yeah, man, coming back from Canada. It was a nice trip, but, I had enough Raptors news. I need some Rockets updates, so I'm back home.
Absolutely, man. And what a way to start it off. We have a big win on Tuesday against the why am I blanking on who it was against?
Washington Wizards.
Washington Wizards, that's right.
Yep.
And now we're playing the Miami Heat at the moment. So we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about a whole bunch more. But before that, man, let's let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, keep up with me on Instagram at PO Trinidad. Gonna be putting out a lot more content. My job even wants me to be pushing more content. So you guys should follow me there. And, I'm gonna be creating some Facebook channels, some Twitter channels as well. So, I'll start a professional podcast pretty soon. And it'll be good, man. It'll be a good way to also let people know about the Red Glare. So we'll be increasing our community as well.
Absolutely. And if you want to find my thoughts on football, I do a podcast with one of my friends named Matt Beer. He does a Colts podcast, but he brings me on because I am not a Colts fan, and I'm able to be a little bit more unbiased.
Nice.
So it's called Inside the Horseshoe. We go live, I believe, every Tuesday. Sorry, every Tuesday at around 6 Central, 7 Eastern. So you find me there trashing the Colts and talking up the Texans because that's what I do. All right, man. But let's get into some Houston stuff right now.
Yep.
Texans not looking good. I always say it's very hard to goose egg somebody in football. And the Bills just did that to us, 40-0. Tyrod Taylor is hurt, so we're waiting for him to come back. But I will say in my opinion, the future looks bright because I really like the coaching staff, and that's hard to say for someone who had to go through this really horrible coaching staff with Bill O'Brien for the past couple of years. But I think David Culley's the answer. I don't know if you've been checking out enough of the games, but I believe that David Culley is a player's coach. People want to play for him, and to me, that's one of the most important things you can have in a coach.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've been pleasantly surprised with the coaching staff as well. Like, I just expected it to be a lot more negative around the organization based on the hiring and. Like for a while there, just really thought the Texans had no clue what they were doing.
Yep.
But like Culley, he's obviously a competitor. Like he's I think the oldest coach. But it's not exactly a bad thing. Like a lot of times these old guys have seen a lot when it comes to player development, and they just know how to just speak to people, run a tight ship. They know how to be professional. So I think that's relieving in a lot of ways, and like. Time will tell how he can make, in-game adjustments and schematics and things like that. But yeah, I think the bigger question mark, the more obvious question mark. And actually, before I say the question marks, also after our first win of the season, I think Mark Ingram came out and just said, "Man, we're a united team. Like, everyone's trying to pull us apart, but like we believe we can win and things like that." So. I really like seeing that, man. That was pretty refreshing because I can't remember like the last time like somebody on the Texans was just speaking out like that. So I think all the players like each other. I think the players like the coaching staff. So that's a pretty good sign. But back to the question mark. I mean, it's all on the quarterback, man. Like, you got all the stuff with Deshaun Watson circulating. Now Tyrod's injured. Davis Mills just, I mean. Bless him, man. But he just doesn't belong out there right now. Like there's so much he doesn't know about the league, and to expect him to go out there and make plays is kind of ridiculous. But that's the position he's in, man. And like him throwing all those interceptions, the last game against the Bills, like it was tough, but there was no other option. Like I'm sure the coach wished he could have took him out after the second, third interception, but you literally can't go further on the depth chart. So, anyways, all that being said, like I want to see the Texans like it's not often like trades happen or these types of things mid-season for a quarterback, but I want to see them like try and do something about that position because I think Davis Mills needs some help. Even I'm not even calling for his replacement. I'm just saying get an experienced guy back there who knows how to back him up and knows how to, just also coach him. So that's what I want to see out of the Texans going forward. Like it looks like it's going to be a rough season though. But probably another one of these 4-win seasons is how I'm feeling. But that's the truth.
Yeah, man. And honestly, I didn't expect us to win a game, or at least I think I predicted us to win 3. I was like, we're definitely gonna beat the Jags maybe twice because we just usually play really well against the Jags. And the thing about the Colts, it's very Colts and Titans too is like very off and on. And I think now that we've gotten to the season, we could probably take one game from both of those teams. And it doesn't really matter to me. I'm all 100% looking to the future. This season meant nothing to me, honestly, because it was like, let's just see what we got in coaching staff. Let's see if Nick Caserio can do some decent hires. And I think he did some really good hires. And not only just hiring, but keeping. So what I mean by that is hiring of David Culley. I didn't know about it. I didn't know how I felt about it. I was like, let's see the guy coach. And I'm a fan of the Locked On Texans podcast. Check those guys out. They're awesome. And a lot of the word coming out from them was in practice and during training camp that they couldn't see, like, they didn't see him as a coach. They kind of like, he was just kind of like very like quiet and to himself. And so I remember them saying that they were worried about that. And I was like, oh man, here we go again. We're going to have another, first we go from a coach that can't give up any power to a coach that might not be like more outspoken. But, and then during the preseason games, they said that they saw it, that all of a sudden, like he becomes, when it's in game, it's a whole different thing. It's a whole different process. And he's a coach, and that's what I think we're seeing. And the addition of Lovie Smith as a defensive coordinator, wow. Like, to me, that was going to be our biggest issue, I thought. And I think that it's kind of a nice little surprise. On the defensive side. It's not great. Obviously, we're lacking the talent. But I think one of the hardest things you can do is find a really good coaching core. But once you find the coaching core, like, you get a full off season and you're not having to worry about plugging in coordinators and coaching staff. Like, once you can just focus on the personnel, I think it becomes so much easier. And I think Caserio is willing to go out there and get the guys he likes. Dude, look, we went and got Mark Ingram, who I think is still good, and Philip Lindsay, who he's not a bad running back. He was probably in terms of like Melvin Gordon and him, like they're pretty close in terms of talent. So him being able to convince those guys to come here shows like a big deal to me. And then keeping Tim Kelly, seeing that Bill O'Brien was probably the problem with the offense last year and the years before, and saying, I see something in this guy, Tim Kelly, let's keep him. And the offense, when it was Tyrod, looked like it was so much more creative. The play calls there, we weren't running every single first down. Like that was my biggest issue with Bill O'Brien, was every first down is a run right down the middle, or a dive to the right, a dive to the left. But now, like, it's a lot more creative. And unfortunately, with the injury to Tyrod, it's caused him to kind of shrink his playbook, because Davis Mills is, a rookie. He's a young guy. He's drafted in the 3rd round. I think he only played like 9 games at Stanford, and then had to forego his last season before coming into the NFL. He probably should have went back for another year, but that's neither here nor there. You can't really talk about that now. You just gotta go by what we see. What I see is a kid that's just not ready. An offensive line that's making it hard for a guy like that to be able to go through his progressions. and it's causing him to look at Brandon Cooks, and that's causing interceptions. It's causing him to stare down receivers, and that's going to lead to interceptions always. So hopefully Tyrod Taylor can come back a little faster. I liked what we saw that first game against Jacksonville. I think that I thought we could have won that game against the Browns if Tyrod didn't go down in the first half. So I think that when Tyrod's here, we're still not a good team, but we're at least a team like how I see these Rockets. We're going to make people work. You're not going to be able to go into a game against the Texans. And I'll say the same thing about the Rockets later. You're not going to be able to go against a game against the Texans and just circle it and be like, that's a dub. Like, no, you're going to have to work for it. And that's what I'm looking forward to the most once Tyrod comes back. Hopefully we hear something soon and he can make it back. I don't know. But that's what I'm hoping. Other than that, man, we have a first-round pick this year. There's a lot of really great talent that's going to be in the draft this year. I would personally not want a good quarterback. I don't love any of the quarterbacks in the draft. Spencer Rattler has looked inconsistent. Desmond Ridder you just never know because he's at Cincinnati. It's always tough with those small school quarterbacks. Like same thing with Malik Wills. You just don't know. You have to kind of take a chance on him. The best one, and I might be crazy, and my favorite quarterback right now I think is Sam Howell from North Carolina. I don't think he's there yet. I think it's going to take him a few years to get ready. But from what I saw in terms of mechanics, I think he's got it. He just has to get better at decision making. He's got to get better at I believe his accuracy in the with the mid-range throws. He's got to work on that. But I think he's got the mechanics are there. And something about like when you have a quarterback who has the mechanics and you put him with the right coaches and the right talent around him, they can do well, man, because we all know one of the hardest things to do is to teach somebody how to throw a ball once they've been throwing a ball for so long.
Right.
It's one of my fears about Justin Fields. When he throws that ball, he holds it like this instead of just putting it straight back. And like that's a mechanic that's hard to change after a while. So, but if you have that mechanics, man, it's kind of going up from there. So that's my favorite quarterback. But at the same time, I don't think he's worth a first-round pick. So I would like a Kyle Hamilton, Notre Dame. I would like a Kayvon Thibodeau, maybe. Something like that. A Chris Olave from Ohio State would be cool, depending on where we're drafting. I think where we're going to be drafting, Kyle Hamilton could be a legit, like a realistic option, which I'm hoping because that dude is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you on the whole quarterback thing. Like, I'm even kind of thinking that it's likely if we ever move Deshaun, we will eventually. But
please, I hope we do. I'm so tired of it.
I'm gonna just say for the sake of the example, when we move Deshaun, I think there's a good chance that there's a quarterback exchange in that trade. Mm-hmm. Like, not saying it's going to be someone good. Tua. It'll at least be like a Tua, I think. So, like,
Jalen Hurts.
I would be more open to that type of scenarios. Like, give me a Hurts, give me a Tua in a trade with some draft picks, and then with my actual draft pick, which is probably in the top 5, let's take somebody that's just super talented.
Yeah.
And
if you haven't seen him play, definitely check out. Have you seen any Notre Dame games?
No, I haven't seen Notre Dame, but I have watched North Carolina quite a bit.
Yeah. Definitely check out Kyle Hamilton if you can. I think he's good.
Yeah.
I think he's all over the field. You can plug him and play him. That's the kind of guy that he is. The safety from there. Justin Reed is due up for a contract, and if you can sign Justin Reed and draft Kyle Hamilton, all of a sudden you have a very dynamic safety like up top, and we've never had that. We've always had good corners, never a good safety. We tried with Ed Reed. It was too late in his career.
Oh, man. That was just a total disappointment, dude.
Yes, it was, man. But
so
that'd be nice. Or Chris Olave. I know we need some receivers, even though I really like Nico Collins.
Yeah. I mean,
it's weird, man.
The good thing is like it's very malleable. Like Texans could go in any direction to like strengthen what they want. Like
Yeah.
we're not exactly tied down to anybody except maybe Brandon Cooks or like
Yeah.
it's not like a year or two ago where it's like you're stuck with Deshaun, you're stuck with JJ, you're stuck with D Hop.
I think the only two that are probably untouchable right now are Laramie Tunsil and probably Brandon Cooks.
Right.
Which is funny because I think like before the year started, there was a lot of reports that, oh, hey, should the Texans trade Brandon Cooks? And dude, I think what he's showing now this year is that it doesn't matter who he's got at quarterback, he's gonna shine. And that's what you want from a number one receiver. And I'm perfectly comfortable moving forward with him as a number one.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I agree.
One more thing I wanted to go over, just real quick. Like you said, hopefully we get this Deshaun Watson thing out the way, because I think that's the last thing that's kind of hanging over this franchise right now is the Deshaun Watson thing. My brother-in-law keeps hitting me up. He's like, I think Miami's going to pull the trigger. I think they're going to pull the trigger. I'm like, please pull the trigger at this point. Like, I'll take it. And he was like, 3 first. I'm like, I will take 3 first for Deshaun Watson right now.
Yeah, I think, also like the saying goes, like when there's smoke, there's fire. Mm-hmm. And like we've heard Miami forever. It's the same way like Harden and like Brooklyn. Like we kept hearing it. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn or 76ers, and like it finally happened. So I still think that's where it's gonna end up. Where the trade will happen is with Miami. So I'm optimistic, man. But yeah, I'm kind of like you. Like I'm sure these guys are just like slowly negotiating. So
yeah,
but I'm ready, man. The fans are ready, I think.
Me too, man. Me too. All right, let's go ahead and before we get into some Rockets, congratulations to the Astros. They're in the playoffs again. Obviously, we already knew they were going to be there. They got their first win against the White Sox. I was definitely not scared of the White Sox, but I was more like, this is a good team. Be careful. And today, I don't know if you watched the game, but today McCullers dealing, man. McCullers looked great. Altuve looked great. Jordan, the kid Jake Myers, so much good talent on this team. And hopefully this leads to us re-signing Correa, because I believe that we need him. So we'll see. But good start to the series. I'm not necessarily afraid of any other teams on the American League. I think we can handle Tampa. I'm definitely not scared of Boston. It really will come down to the National League. So I'm gonna have my eyes glued to the TV tomorrow watching those National League games, because there's some toughies in there, man. Dodgers, Giants, Milwaukee's there, man. Like it's some toughies in there.
Yeah, man. I mean, where to start? I'll start with the matchups. Like, I think like if I had to pick one AL opponent that I don't want to face, it's really just the Red Sox because of the emotion of Fenway.
Mm-hmm.
But still, even in that scenario, I'm not exactly worried about the Astros. Like, what I'm saying, like the on-field play. So
that's the beauty of the 2 seed too, right? Like if they do get past Tampa, at least we'll have 4 games here in Houston and not over there in Fenway.
Exactly. So and if it's Tampa, you don't have to worry about any home field advantage over there. No. So yeah, man. Either way, I think you kind of can. You don't want to jump ahead, but you're looking at a win-win if you face the winner of that series, because, either you're facing someone who doesn't really have home court, a home field advantage, or you're facing a team that's not as good as the other. So when it comes to the NL, man, like,
a lot of wild cards.
I just don't. I want somebody more deserving than the Dodgers, man. Like, a part of me is like, oh, like it'd be great to renew that beef again and everything. But like, I also dislike the Dodgers enough that I would want them to be eliminated as soon as possible, because to me, the Dodgers are basically like what the Yankees were in the 2000s, just kind of like
always there,
like always basically paying their way there, and when I look at the Astros, I feel like we're the opposite of that. Like, we are just here no matter what. You can't get rid of us. Another postseason, dude. Like today, when I'm looking at our team, is like you look at McCullers, like you mentioned, he's out there dealing. You look at all of our veterans, and like on all their faces, they're just calm, they're cool, collected.
They've been there.
By this point in their career, they've been there. Like every single year they're here. They're not shook for like game ones of an ALDS. They're locked in. I mean, and then we even saw like our young guy getting in there. I'm spacing his name because I have the Rockets game on. Yeah, Myers.
Yeah,
Jake Myers. I was for some reason I was thinking Evans, but
I think it took them to the 6th inning to finally get him out because he was just he had a walk.
Yes.
He got a single. Like he was looking good, man. He looks composed too.
And that's what I love, bro, about the Astros. Like he goes up there, he gets a hit. Like who's clapping for him? It's Altuve, it's Correa. All the veterans are like they're cheering for him, bro. Like imagine if you're a rookie and like the leaders of your team are just like cheering you on. You know, like that.
Mhm.
That's motivating enough. So like, I love the chemistry, man. I think like. I think there's a legitimate chance we can win it, man. So I'm really happy for the Astros. It was a great start. Like I think Chicago is good enough to win a game or two. So you know, hopefully we can snatch the next one right away and just get that lead and not look back.
Same, man. I'm hoping that we can get into the game on Sunday with the 2-0 lead. That'd be nice. Going to Chicago.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly about that. About the Astros. The beauty of the Astros is this is a home-built team.
Right.
They pay the only people we really pay for is our own stars. You know, we pay for Altuve. We pay for Bregman. Hopefully we pay for Correa. That'd be really nice. Whereas, you know, other teams, aka the Yankees, have to pay for their teams every year, and it leads
in free agency. Yeah.
And it leads to nothing. They went and got Anthony Rizzo, and they were like, "This is it. This is our year." No, you still have to worry about. You still need some pitching, guys. And I feel the same way about the Dodgers, man. The Dodgers, because I don't really pay attention to the baseball season throughout the year because it's so damn long. So I don't really follow. I'll keep up every now and then, mostly just look at what the Astros are doing. So to see that the Dodgers had to play a playing game really surprised me. I wasn't expecting that, and to see how it went down to the wire, 11 innings, I fell asleep a little bit because it was already late. It was like 11 o'clock.
You're talking about the Yankees game?
No, the Dodgers Cardinals.
Oh, the Dodgers. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's just I wasn't. That's how good the NL is, and that's a beauty to see because it's. I don't think any of these teams besides the Dodgers were in the playoffs last year.
Right.
The Giants weren't in the playoffs. The Braves were in the playoffs. Sorry. The Braves were there, but the Brewers just missed out on the playoffs last year. Now we get a Brewers Braves series, which is going to be a lot of fun. And right off the bat, Dodgers Giants. Like if you're not watching that series and you love baseball, you're out of your mind. That's going to be a great
series. Man. I also just want to give a shout out to the poetic justice that was served to Garrett Cole, losing in fucking play-in, and it was so awesome that they lost because of Giancarlo kind of hitting that deep ball and Aaron Judge getting tagged out.
Mm-hmm.
Man, bro, I loved every second of that game. I love the way they lost.
The only person I felt bad for there was I think Giancarlo. I think Giancarlo's dude, I can't every time.
Yeah, he's a hard worker, man. But we got history with and we got history with Judge and Cole, so it's personal. It's not as personal with Giancarlo, but. No. I just feel man, Garrett Cole, you basically left to be a loser, bro. And
he could have probably still been our number one here in Houston.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. You had a World Series shot this year, bro, but you got greedy and now you're a loser. So I hope you see this.
The only thing I was mad about was the fact that about them getting eliminated was that it couldn't be us that eliminated them again.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
I love eliminating the Yankees.
That's what I love about our fan base is we have this sick bloodthirst of facing our rivals to eliminate them.
Come on, we love playing Oakland. In the playoffs. We love playing the Yankees in the playoffs.
Oakland Dodgers.
I love playing the Dodgers in the playoffs. I love beating them in a World Series. Ain't nothing better than that.
Yeah, man.
But I love that their only. World Series win is against the Rays. It's not against us. They couldn't do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. Yeah, And you barely beat whatever. We won't get into that with Snell and all
that.
That
was a horrible call. That was a horrible call from the manager from Tampa.
Yeah, pretty much, bro.
But next year the Padres will be there. Don't worry, guys.
Also, I hope the Blue Jays make it, man. They kind of got robbed. I think they won like 93 games and still didn't get in, so that was kind of painful. Shout out to the Blue Jays, man.
Say hi.
What's up, buddy?
Hold on. There you go, buddy. All right, man. Let's get into some Rockets, dude. The Rockets look pretty good right now. It's a 34-26 game, but the young stars are balling. Jalen Green is balling right now. But before we do that, let's talk about the Washington game. And you were able to watch it. I was able to watch it. What was your what was your biggest standout? Like who stood out to you and impressed you?
I mean, it's hard not to say Jalen. I mean, I'm just so excited about Jalen, bro. Like, especially like ever since he beat Cade in that preseason or that Vegas game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm starting to be like, man, like I think there's a chance we got the best player in the whole draft. So, yeah, it's really exciting for Jalen. But I think like secondary to that, what excites me is just like the chemistry of the team. Like, I see like Porter Jr. like getting along with Jalen Green, like Kenyon Martin Jr. still there, like Daniel House and EG are still a question mark, but like it's kind of cool to have some veterans like in this space.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, like I'm just kind of liking the depth of our team. Like it's not a lot of star talent, but it's pretty nice, man. And that's kind of what I saw in that game against Washington. I'm like, I mean, you had Washington playing Beal and Kuzma and these guys, and like we were still putting up points and working those guys, man. And so it's pretty exciting to see.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm gonna try and see if I can pull up the stats from that game so I can take a look. But to me, man, I have to give some love to KPJ, man. I feel like with the Jalen Green thing, we've all kind of like put KPJ off to the side, not on purpose, but just because we're so excited about Jalen Green.
Yeah.
And I think we have 5 19-year-olds. Every guy that we drafted is 19 years old. So probably our youngest team ever. But dude, KPJ looked fantastic, man. 25. I'm looking at it right now. 25 points in 29 minutes, was absolutely balling. Behind him, of course, is the young man Jalen Green and Daniel Tice, man. I don't really know much about Daniel Tice, but the dude was like pulling up from outside the paint, shooting like long jumpers, and I was like, dude, who is this guy and where has he been this whole time? Because that was awesome to see. I was just happy to see this young team. They seem like they're vibing. There's obviously some hiccups, a lot of, and I think Jalen Green's got to learn a lot of kind of uncontrollableness. I don't know how to say that. Just kind of chaos. Like he's very, and you see that a lot in rookies, especially when they get the ball at the top of the key and they think they can get around somebody. They kind of go a little wild and lose the ball. But that's something that goes away. I think with experience. So I'm looking forward to seeing him improve in that area. But yeah, man.
My bad.
Go ahead.
No, I just want to throw in Josh Christopher because like I think he played like only 10 minutes or so and he got like 11 points.
Yeah.
I'm low key thinking like I don't want to get too excited, but I'm like, man, like was he like one of the steals of the draft? You know what I mean? Like
it's possible, dude. It's very possible. And I saw it in Vegas too, I think, because Josh Christopher was the one that was kind of scratching my head on. Like Şengün, I understood. Garaba was like, yeah, of course. But I was surprised we were actually able to get Garaba. But the Josh Christopher, I was like, huh. Like that was weird. Like Quentin Grimes was still available. There were still some guys available. So I was like, that's a weird one. And seeing him in Vegas, man, like he impressed me. He's a bigger, better shooter, but like Patrick Beverley. Like,
right.
He's a dog, man. Like he's gonna get in there. He's gonna play hard with you. He's gonna Bubba, take your mama. He's gonna play hard. He's gonna bother you and just be that gnat, that bugaboo, where you're just like, dude, get the hell off of me.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I love to see, man. That's what you need in a young team. You need someone that can do that, and I think that's him. And Christian Wood having a very quiet night that night, but at the same time, 9.7 rebounds, only 23 minutes. Like he looks like he's going to take a step, or at least pick back up where he left off. My key to him, I say like maybe these next couple games get a good look at him, but he shouldn't be playing probably more than 20 minutes in these games, in these preseason games. I would prefer, because I want him to be healthy. I think he was on a all-star trajectory last year if he didn't get hurt. So I hope he can get back to that.
Yeah, man. I think with Christian Wood, like my expectations are a bit higher for him. Like, we all want to see him take that next step, that next level. I don't exactly know if it has to be an all-star this year, but I think we want to see him kind of like at least average, a 15 point, 10 rebound, or something to get the fans excited and just show that progression. Also, like, I'm kind of waiting for the Rockets to move on from Gordon. Like, in that first game, he played, like, what do we have? 21 minutes and put up 6 points, like -6 in the plus minus. Like, I mean, I get it. Maybe coach is just kind of giving him his props. He's the veteran. He's going to get things started, but I can't really see a scenario where with him being like our starter the rest of the season, when you have all these young guys that could use the minutes. So, dude, that's probably like my question mark on this roster is like, okay, what are we going to do with Gordon? I mean, House, feel how you want about House, but like he's still kind of young, so like I can be kind of patient with that. Yeah. But Gordon, yeah, man, I think we need to move on.
Yeah, and I think Gordon is a perfect trade piece, like towards the end, right before the trade deadline. Like he's a perfect. Whereas John Wall, I think John Wall, we kind of got to hopefully trade him a little earlier in the season.
Right.
But Eric Gordon is perfect for a team that is missing that one shooter.
Right.
That's been there and that has that playoff pedigree and is able to do what he does in the playoffs, because we all know he's a good player. It's more just this is and I love Eric Gordon, but this is just it's a new era, like it's time to kind of cut it, move on. I love that they're starting KPJ at the 1 and letting Jalen Green play the 2. I think that might be a little bit more of Jalen's speed, like being able to play off the ball and not have to worry about playmaking all the time. We know he's capable of playmaking, but to be able to know that he can go out there and just kind of do his thing. It looks like KPJ. Oh no, that was Green. A little 3-pointer from Jalen Green.
Nice.
I get them confused, man. That it's the afro. I think Jalen's got to go more like longer curly hair, whereas KPJ's got the afro.
Yeah, they seem to be like hanging out as bros, so it's gonna make it even more confusing.
Yeah, but I'm excited to see this team, man. I really, really am. Steven Silas finally has a smile on his face. Love seeing that.
Thank God, man. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. So let's go ahead and talk about this game right now. 36-29, Miami Heat. Obviously, the Miami Heat, dude. They're going to be in the playoffs this year, so it's a good team. Bam Adebayo has 10 points right now. Surprisingly, Kyle Lowry no points, but he does have 7 assists. Duncan Robinson, the highest paid undrafted free agent in NBA history, which is wild. That dude's good.
Yeah.
Tyler Hero has a nice little respectable 5 points. So that they look good. I mean, we already know they're going to be good. Eric Spoelstra doesn't really put on bad teams. Eric Spoelstra is like the NBA equivalent to Mike Tomlin. Like they're always going to be in the mix. He's going to keep his team there because he's that good of a coach. But we'll see how far it goes in the playoffs. Now time for the Rockets. Jalen Green, a nice little 9 points, all on 3-point shots. The dude's getting much more comfortable with his 3-point shot. I love seeing that. You have Christian Wood behind him with 7 points, a nice little 7 points. KPJ with 6. It's kind of like an even, like these guys are really dishing it out. Alperen Şengün, how about this? 4 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists.
Nice.
He is actually my sleeper for, like, if Jalen doesn't win Rookie of the Year, Şengün might be like Jalen will probably be number 1, but I think Şengün will be like top 5 in that voting because that dude can do almost everything. He can handle the ball, he can pass the ball, he has a little some post moves. I like Şengün's game a lot. I really do.
Yeah, man. There's a lot to like for sure. Yeah, I think this is like a perfect preseason test for the Rockets. Like, I don't, I think these guys in Miami, obviously, like, they don't really care if they win a preseason game, but they're extra competitive. Like, when they're out there, they're such veterans that have played at the highest level that naturally they're just going to play at a high level at all times. So, like, this is a perfect defensive test actually for like Jalen Green, because he's going to kind of see what these elite defensive teams are like tonight. You got to get past people like Jimmy and Kyrie, and then you got Bam Adebayo waiting for you. You got PJ Tucker waiting for you in the paint. So I like that Jalen's kind of found like his 3-point shot already, because I also don't want him getting too banged up in the preseason. Like, we need him fresh for the regular season. So
yeah,
work on your spacing, get your shots, nail them when you have them. If I could see some of that the rest of the game, then I think it'll be pretty successful. Like, I think Porter Jr. kind of should have more of the green light when it comes to like driving it in the paint right now, and getting some layups. And also like C Wood, bro. Like, I don't mind seeing C Wood and Daniel Tice like impose their size a little bit on this game. Like, PJ Tucker's way undersized compared to C Wood, so yeah, man, I want to see some of that. Like, you're coming off an injury. I want to see you get a little bit more physical, going down in the paint. But either way, man, it's like the ideal matchup. If you ask me, like, Washington, it's cool. You got Bradley Beal there. You got Kuzma, I guess. But those guys, I don't really expect them to make it even in the playoffs this year. So yeah. Miami's more like a top 4 team in the East. And this is what you want your young team playing.
Yeah, like this is when you want your young guys, playing the bulk of the minutes is in these games against much more respected teams, because you want to see them against the top tier talent. Like I said, with Christian Wood, I think the key with Christian Wood is I think he's got to get more comfortable being inside. Sometimes I feel like he's not as comfortable imposing his size. Because he is much like he's skinnier. He's a skinnier guy, but he's so long, like and fast. Like I think he can play as well, mostly on the defensive side. So I'm hoping to see him take a step up there, see more blocks from him, get in the paint, get a little dirty. Whereas Daniel Tice, I don't really know much about him, but what I do know is I want him to be a little more aggressive with those like outside shots, man. Like those shots in that first game. Those impressed me. I was legit like, who the hell is this guy? Why is he taking out shots, and why are they all going in? Dude, they were like, he was sinking like nice little 20-footers, like from the corner. And you're like, dude, what are you doing? You're a center.
Yeah, Tice had some good years with Boston, bro. Like, it's just the rest of the team sucked for whatever reason. But so it's kind of the same like Kelly Olynyk type of player, like different skill set obviously, but kind of that same mentality. Like, I expect him to bring it every night, like always be giving 100%. And that, I think that's kind of what Seawood and the Rockets need in general, is just like somebody dependable down there in the paint, especially if the rest of the team is like, kind of young. You also got DJ Augustine now as like your second or third point guard, which is good because like that's like a veteran, you know what I'm saying? And when it comes to those minutes where like Jalen Green's out the game, like you don't have to worry too much about this guy turning the ball over or just doing some reckless shit. Like, they're gonna basically manage the game. Like, it's like a cliche term in football. It's like you need game managers too, And so like that's kind of what I'm hoping like DJ Augustine is gonna be for the Rockets, just like a manager when it comes to that. So
and a voice on the bench too, to like kind of calm these guys down when they get into like games where, hey, it's a little closer than we thought it was going to be. Let's get in there and keep playing. Or whenever it's you know how this game is. It's a game of runs. It's very
Right.
easy to go on a very big run, but it's also easy to be on the other side of one of those runs, and how you react when you get on one of those sides can like influence a game a lot. And with a guy like DJ Augustine, who's able to tell them, guys, calm down, slow it down, take it easy. It's only the second quarter; it doesn't matter. Let's just pick it back up, and I think that's what DJ Augustin's
Exactly.
going to be for the team. And to a point, I think that's what Daniel Tice can be too, man. I think we shouldn't underestimate like the kind of veteran presence he's going to bring. He's played with a lot of great players, so he knows what it means to play in big tight games, and he knows what it means when because it can go the opposite way too, where you're on a big run and all of a sudden you get complacent. You start thinking like, oh, you go on like a nice little 20 to 3 run. You think that you got the game in the bag, and all of a sudden it's a tie game. Us as Rockets fans, we've been on that end a lot.
Yeah, especially in the playoffs. Like,
we're like, I don't know what the hell just happened.
And if you think about it, like, I'm not trying to turn this into like a knock James Harden show, but if you think about it, a lot of times, like, we were lacking it, minus the CP3 years, we were always kind of lacking that veteran to like keep things steady, like think about like the series we were successful. Like, we had Josh Smith that one time against the Clippers. Like, he was a veteran. He was composed. He knew how to do it. When we had CP3
on the court.
Exactly. And then like when we had CP3, he managed the game a lot better. What happened? CP3 went out. We kind of lost all the momentum. So yeah, man, it's important for these young guys to go through that early, I think, and kind of be established when it comes to the playoffs and know to be calm, because I don't think our leaders in the past have exactly had that trait.
Yeah. So that's one thing I hope that our young guys can develop fast. These kids are 19 years old. They're going to make mistakes. We have to understand that. But you think of like Şengün. Şengün was the MVP in probably the second best league in basketball in the world, which is the Turkish. The Turkish league is very high up there in terms of talent, and he was the MVP last year at 19 years old, man, and won the championship there. Like, I think he's going to bring a lot of veteran presence that we're not realizing. And whenever we see him on the court, we're going to be like, who is it? Like, wow, the kid is so good. Like, he's good. He can get out there and kind of like, take control of the game. And I'm looking forward to seeing that. Looking forward to seeing a lot of stuff. I feel like I'm like a broken record right now. Like, there's so much to look forward to for this team. This is like an elevated version of what I feel like the Texans would probably be next year. Like, Texans next year will be like, there's so many young guys. Let's look forward to it. Right now, we're just going to do the dirty years, the hard year, and that's to me that's what last year was for the Rockets. Last year was the hard year. Let's just get through it, see where we land in the draft. Luckily, we got the number 2 pick. Get Jalen Green. It's all great and looking up. So hopefully that could be what we have for the Texans next year. And hopefully we don't get to these years for a while with the Astros. Let's stay where we're at.
Yeah. I can't wait till the Rockets play on national TV and they're like, who's this Şengün guy tearing up everybody? You know what I mean?
So mad.
Yeah,
this Christopher guy that keeps like keeps robbing people, robbing these dang players from the ball.
Yeah, man. I think this is one of those years, you want your team to win every single year, but like, realistically speaking, man, if the Rockets can make a play-in, I think I'd be happy with this season. I'd call it success if we could do that.
And that's the beauty of getting 4 first-round picks, right?
Yeah.
You're getting 4 first-round picks. You don't you have your future set. Now let's go out there and let's start putting the team together. Let's start getting some wins. Let's get some veterans to fill in this team. And let's aim for that playing game. Let's aim for the playoffs, because us Rockets fans, we're not used to long rebuild years. We're usually able to get back in there pretty quickly. So I would like to see that happen. And maybe that's why Rafael Stone was like, yo, let's get as many players as we possibly can. We have 3. The trade to get Şengün was probably the steal of the draft in terms of like, whoa, like wasn't expecting that. Oh, poor Poor Russell Wilson just exited the game.
Oh,
Against he dislocated his finger to the point where he couldn't straighten it out, which is gross.
yikes!
On his throwing hand.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, oh man. So we're about to head out soon. I don't really have any more else to say about basketball, Rockets. I'm looking forward to talking more throughout the season.
Yeah,
I just got told on. I know someone from Against the Grain podcast. He just hit me up. Was like, "Yo, I didn't know you were into the basketball stuff. Let's get into it." I'm like, "Yo," I told him, "You let me know when you can get on. Let's set it up. So hopefully we can have Against the Grain on soon."
Yeah,
I worked with him at a radio station for a little bit, and so let's stop talking about basketball, football one more time. Who's your MVP this year right now, man?
Oof.
Who you got? You want me to give mine first?
Yeah, you can give yours first.
I got Kyler, man. I think Kyler Murray has been like kind of picking up back where I love it because everyone was like, oh, and me included were like, oh, he just has to be more consistent. And I totally blanked that he had that injury and that knee injury late last year, or elbow injury. Yeah. Like he had that elbow injury late, and that's why he struggled. And I was like, oh, then if this is healthy Kyler, like I love it, man. He's got a nice little receiving core over there in Arizona with D-Hop. AJ Green's going in a little bit, but that kid Christian Kirk is starting to make himself known.
Yeah, man.
I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be probably the front runner. But behind him, probably Dak.
Yeah, dude. I didn't want to say it, but that's who I was thinking.
Right? Like it sucks because we're Houston fans, but yeah, I mean.
But to be fair, bro, like a lot of people like a story. Even I like a good story, right? And Dak is one of the more likable Cowboys, if I had to put that in a sentence.
Absolutely.
But you know what I mean? Like his story is inspiring. Exactly, man. Exactly. So
even before the injury, when he first got drafted, I was like, I want this kid to win. I think he's a cool. Yeah, he's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, man. So I think like when you said that initially, like I thought him, but I'm like, wait, do I really think that? But yeah, I'll give his props, man. I think he's turning it up, man. And they even did good against Tampa, and they lost by like 2 points. So
and you're not wrong about the NFL loving a story. They love a comeback story.
For sure, bro.
And to be able to give him both comeback player and MVP is a great story. Like after that horrific injury, the story before that was Jerry doesn't want to pay him, and then I think the injury kind of forced Jerry's hands. It was like, if I don't pay him now, like I'm kind of a piece of shit. Like I gotta pay him, pays him. Everyone's like, oh, he's gonna regress because he got his money, bro. He got his money, but no, he's went the opposite way, and it's just been tearing it up on the field. As a Houston fan, I want to see them fail, but at the same time, man, I just like seeing him play, man.
Well, yeah, man, and interesting for you here. Week 17, Cowboys play Arizona in Dallas.
Could it be?
Could it be the matchup? Yeah.
Whenever that game gets the MVP trophy, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And then one more thing, man. What are your thoughts on Kansas City? Is the dynasty over before it begins?
Oh, dude, it's hard to say. I'm gonna say no so far, but like, to be honest, man, like I think they got a little bit of arrogance too quick, and like it's not exactly their fault because as soon as they won the first Super Bowl, everyone in the media was like ready to paint them as a dynasty. They were ready to hand over the fucking keys to the castle. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say before they won the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
It was that game against the AFC Championship against Brady. And it went to overtime. and Brady said, Mahomes, you're not getting this ball.
Yeah, bro. Exactly. Like they were like everyone. They all loved Mahomes even before this started. So like
everybody was yelling at that. I remember. I'm sorry. I remember at the end of the game, everyone was like, "We have to change the overtime rules."
Yeah, exactly. Like you had Stephen A. Smith saying that, it's completely blasphemous, it's unfair. Like, bro, the media like wanted them so bad, and like, don't get me wrong, they deserve their win against San Francisco, but like, keep in mind, even against San Francisco, they were struggling, dude. You
Itch.
know what I'm saying? And then against Brady, they got exposed, dude. Brady opened that team up. So yeah, man, I think they got a lot of question marks. I still think like they're gonna make the playoffs. I still think they'll at least make a AFC conference championship. But yeah, man, I don't exactly think they're the lock pick that the media portrays them to be at all.
And you look at what Buffalo's doing right now, like what they're doing.
Yeah,
I talked all the time how hard it is to goose egg a team. It's very hard to shut out a team in football because if you have a good kicker, like if you're, I remember the game against the Raiders a long time ago when they had Janikowski. Dude was kicking like 60-yard field goals every time they got a little like 3 yards inside the 50-yard line. Like he was hitting field goals and they beat us because of that. Like it's very hard to goose egg a team. They've done it twice already in these
yeah,
first
man.
4 weeks.
I mean, also like the Ravens beat them. Like
Yeah.
I don't even think the Ravens are on their level, but they're showing cracks. Is my point. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the
So
Ravens just wanted it more, man. I mean, you can't tell me Lamar Jackson's better than Mahomes, but he went out there and you know what I'm saying, executed. So yeah,
yeah,
dude.
my thing about the Chiefs. So a part of me does think that the dynasty might be over before it begins, but not because of Mahomes. It's not because of the offense. I think that all that money they've spent on the offensive end, that defense is so bad, man. And
Yeah,
um, the beautiful thing about Mahomes, right, is Mahomes doesn't turn the ball over. He never turns the ball over. Mahomes would never turn the ball over. And so like the fact that defense was so bad, Mahomes could always just go back out there and just score again.
right,
But what he's
right.
doing this year is he's turning the ball over. Like
Yeah,
that's
and
and
we haven't seen that to this point.
no, and I remember his rookie year when the dude, or not his rookie year, but the year after his rookie year, his because he redshirted the first year. So that second year, technically his actual rookie year, he was like doing those crazy passes, and I remember
Yeah,
saying I want to hold out, calling him one of the greatest of all time because eventually those are going to turn into interceptions. And unfortunately, I mean that was his second year. He's been in the league for how like 5 years now, almost. I think it's his 5th year now. So it's like okay, it's 5 years later, but those passes that he used to be able to make, those are starting to become turnovers again, or finally. And when the defense isn't able to keep you in games like that, I think that's where the problem is. Um,
yeah,
they're eventually going to have to like get rid of somebody on the offensive end, whether it be a Tyreek Hill or a Travis Kelce. And that would be, to me, I don't think it would happen. But if you want to keep competing, you have to find money somewhere. And I mean, the contract for Mahomes is very it's very top heavy. Where like I think the first 3 years is a lot of money, and then it kind of evens out because
yeah,
it's a 10-year deal.
right.
It's 10-year, 500 million. So it's about 50 million a year. But I believe only I don't it's like maybe less than half is guaranteed.
Hmm.
And like that's where, restructuring can come in and all that stuff. So we'll
Yeah,
see. Maybe they can make the changes, but at least until now, man, my favorite in the AFC is probably going to be uh, Buffalo.
yeah.
Buffalo
I'm with you, man.
looks they look so good on the defensive end. I wasn't expecting their defense to be that good, but they're looking great. Josh Allen is that dude. Stephon Diggs is that dude. And yeah, man, I like Buffalo a lot. On the NFC side, I'm still leaning Tampa, but
Me too.
LA, the Rams are starting to kind of like that game against between Tampa and LA. That like to me that showed like man, this this team might be legit. They had a bad game against Arizona last week. I'll give them that, but I knew that Matthew Stafford would. I thought he was going to be an MVP candidate, honestly. because I've always liked him in Detroit. But yeah, I think right now we're looking forward to a Buffalo Tampa meeting in the Super Bowl, which would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. Dude, like at this point, like seeing Brady go for rings is like it gets more and more entertaining because like, well, when's he gonna stop? Like, when's it gonna end? You know what I'm saying? And it like never does. So
the only bad thing is that Gronk just went down. So you're like, oh, hopefully he's not out for too long because those guys were connecting a lot, man.
yeah, they were, bro. And see, I know Brady pulls for his guys, but like I sometimes I kind of want like the guys at Tampa to be like, no, let me get you a young, great receiver instead of Gronk and Antonio Brown. You know what I mean? Like that's probably the only thing that kind of bothers me about their offense. Like because they also have Richard Sherman. Yeah. They also have Evans. But I feel like he's a bit inconsistent, man. Like he makes big.
Okay.
No, I was gonna say like he makes big plays for them, but like I feel like they need somebody like the same way like Will Fuller was for the Texans when he was sparring with Deshaun. You know what I'm saying? Like they kind of need someone a little more like consistent, getting like 100 yards a game, and not exactly a star.
Mm-hmm. But well, that's what I think they thought Godwin was gonna be. But I mean, the problem is there's just too many receivers over there. Yeah. And there's only one ball, right? Like at 1 week, Antonio Brown is that dude. The next week, Gronk is. The next week, Mike Evans is. It's so all over the place. I believe that first week it was all Godwin. Godwin was that guy because I remember because I could have traded for him and I didn't. I chose Robert Woods instead. And it's not hurting me that much, but it's a little hurting me. I don't know if you're a big fantasy football guy. First of all, in our league, I suck. Goddamn, like I've been so bad lately. I just got my first win.
I love my roster, but I've already lost twice, so I don't know, man. It's a that's how the game is, though.
Yeah. So in one of my leagues, I was able to. So somebody offered me a trade. It was they wanted Kelsey. They were offering me T.J. Hawkinson, Tyreek Hill, and I believe Deebo Samuel. And I just was like, dude, I can't do it, man. Like I can't do it. So then he was like, all right, hold on. He sent me, and I still can't believe he did this, and I'm so happy I accepted it. He sent me T.J. Hawk for Travis Kelce. He sent me T.J. Hawkinson, Tyreek Hill, and D-Hop.
Oh shit!
I'm like, dude.
So I guess that has to be some personal bias or something for Kelce.
I don't know, man, because I mean, Kelce hasn't been great. Honestly, he's been okay. Like, but like, dude, Tyreek had that 41-point week that 1 week. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, not to mention now he has to like fill his roster with waivers.
Yeah, oh man, like I do have one league like that's like that where I'm just constantly looking at the.
It's like, all right, like if you're gonna make me trade him, that's fine.
I'll give him. I seriously almost did the Deebo Samuel one, but I was like, I'll keep him. I had a lot of receivers already. I'll keep him. Like I think I also have DK in that.
Damn.
So I'm very wide receiver heavy. But, all right, man. Sense. Let's go ahead and get the hell out of here. We'll be back next week. We are going to be back full time, guys. We're Rockets and
season started, man.
We're about to have college basketball start soon. Like it's going to be so much fun, man. This is like the sports sweet spot. We got baseball. On. My girl hates it. She hates it so much.
All women hate this period. But this is like the men. This is where men we become like our prime form.
Yeah, then like right after Super Bowl, we're like, like there's a game
all right,
there.
We can do what you want now.
Yeah, right now it's like it's baseball playoffs, it's football season. My girl every year she gets surprised by the fact that I watch football 4 days out of the week.
Man.
We've been together for 8 years now. You should know this.
Yeah, man. I was watching U of H Tulane. I already have the itch. Like I'm gonna watch it every day till Sunday. So
that's awesome, man. All right, man. All right, bro. You can catch me on Twitter at AlecMillo0423. And if you want more football opinions from me, definitely check out Inside the Horseshoe podcast. It's right here on YouTube. I believe they're about 400 subscribers, so hopefully we can get to that point. That'd be awesome. But definitely check me out there, and my Twitter. I post a lot about sports and all that, so check me out there. All right, Paul, let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, man, at PL Trinidad on Instagram. It's the best way to keep up with me. Like Alex said, I want to keep going on this. I mean, we haven't gave up, man. We're still here. We're still standing. So it should be a good season from the Rockets, man. And it'll be a sober season, man. We're gonna try and be honest about things. This isn't gonna be like a easy season, but it's gonna be a lot of fun things to watch, and hopefully we can point those out on our show for you guys. So appreciate everyone who's been keeping up with us, all of our homies who just sharing the link because they fuck with us as homies. I also appreciate that as well, man. But until next time, I'll catch y'all later.
All right, man. Peace out, guys. Catch you next week.